Hi and welcome. So, as you might have seen, I've been posting daily each evening at 6 o'clock British Standard Time, and it would be about 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time at this time of the day, where you may have seen days 1 to days 10 of detox meal ideas. So, today I just want to really open up the floor to anybody who has any questions regarding the detox and talk to you about just some of the features. So this is going to be a raw detox plan. If you look at the live videos, the playbacks, what you'll see are examples from a shopping list that contain all these type of ingredients from that shopping list that I've put together just to give people an idea of how they can put those ingredients together, because not everybody is used to eating raw. This is something I do throughout the spring when I do a fully raw detox. And the detox also includes a liver flush and a colon cleanse. So prior to the liver flush, the day before, you'll be eating certain foods that are high in glutathione. And those foods help to support the liver flush the next day. So it'll be a continuation of those lovely raw fresh foods. And on day 3, there'll be an abundance of fruits. And I've given the people who've already registered a plan of how to fruit combine, and that's really just to make sure that you're getting the optimum digestion. It's easier on the digestive system, and you're not getting, fruits fermenting in the gut, because then we start to prepare for the colon cleanse. Now, the colon cleanse will consist of 3 different herbs. And those herbs you can obtain from your herbal suppliers. And the herbs are there to kind of just gently contract the intestine. And one of the herbs is mineral dense, and the other one is there to create a bulky and soft stool. So we want to cleanse the filtration organ, which is the liver, and we want to cleanse the colon, which is where obviously all the waste has to be cleared through. It won't be, super clean, those organs, but it's a start to actually work on cleansing those organs, especially just before detox, so that you can absorb a lot of those minerals, because the intestine absorbs minerals from the foods that we eat. So by cleansing, you're helping to clear that organ in time to start eating all your mineral dense fresh foods in the season. And this is why spring's such a great time to start your first detox, because you've got all this fresh abundance that you can have, and the time is now a bit warmer, so you don't have to cook anything, and you can prepare the foods as you've seen from day 1 to day 10. So have a look at some of those videos to get a good idea. It's not too late to join. Even if you start a week or 2 behind everybody who are on the 40-day detox program with Carol Fraser on Facebook, that's fine, because towards the end of the program, from day 6 onwards, you have your full grocery list. So we'll all be eating the same types of foods, even if you're joining a couple of weeks later, just to get yourself prepared, getting some of your groceries. And if you have underlying health issues, you can actually schedule a free call with me, so we can make sure that you're right fit, that you're safe. If you have diabetic issues, if you have high blood pressure or any other underlying autoimmune disorders, we can take a look at that. I can make some recommendations. I can tweak the plan for you as well, especially if you've got food sensitivities, you have any known allergies. I have experience as an allergy chef preparing foods for 50 preschoolers on a daily basis, and they had a plethora of allergies, and I've learned to prepare different types of foods specifically for people with colitis or IBS or allergies, wheat sensitivities, etc. So that's there for you as well, and you can get access to the details of booking a call with me, registering for the program by clicking the link below. Right, so as I said, it's all raw, fresh foods. You'll have all your fruits, your vegetables, you'll have some fruit powders like baobab, there'll also be hemp powder, there'll also be things like chia seed which you can use. And if you saw day 10 yesterday, I was showing you just some budget tips where you can have organic on a budget. And one of the, I think the priciest things is usually the milks. Because if you're having your smoothies and you like to add milk, and a lot of them can be done with water, and I do advise on spring or mineral water with at least a pH of 7. But to save money on the milks, if you choose to have them each day in your smoothies or your smoothie bowls, and also you'll be using them in your dressings, the creamy mayo dressings, the herb dressings, the dips that I've been showing you over the days, you can use have a look in yesterday's video, day 10, but you can use things like desiccated coconut, coconut flour, you know, make your nut milks from scratch. Things like I was showing the packets of things that you can make the milks from. So you can just simply use your desiccated coconut, you can use your organic flour. Try and get organic where possible, because you're going to be eating raw, especially with the foods. And also, if you purchase things that are non-organic, soak them for about 15 minutes in bicarbonate of soda just to get rid of the major pesticides. But you can literally blend your own milks from dehydrated products. You don't have to spend, you know, £4 on a litre of coconut milk. You can do that yourself. You can even make hemp seed milk. Get the hulled hemp seeds, take a tablespoon, put your 500 mils of water and blend and strain. And that's all you need to do. So you can do organic on a budget. Not everything has to be organic. I wouldn't worry so much about thick-skinned fruits and veg, things like avocado, for instance, and bananas and pineapple, things like squash, and we'll be using butternut squash in this program. You really don't need to worry so much about those being organic because they have a thick layer. So it doesn't really penetrate the foods as much. It's really the soft fruits. But if you purchase things like frozen berries, that saves you money, and it also saves on waste, so that nothing's going off too quickly. And you can make, you know, pureed dressings, and all the recipes for those who've signed up go onto a platform called Natural Workshops. That's my private members platform, and each person will gets free access to that platform, where there's a Trello board of all of the images with the description of the type of recipes, and you just click into that board. It's so easy to just scroll through, and you see all those beautiful bright images that you've been seeing in my videos every day, and you just click on the image and description, and you get all of the recipes all there, all organized for you. Plus there's also a help and support section there, so people can ask questions on Natural Workshops. But I've set up the Facebook page, which is the 40-day Detox Live with Carol Fraser, and people can ask questions there. They can post up what they're having for the day, so we're going to really make it fun and interactive, and I'll be sharing on there as well. I'm also going to be doing the detox along with everybody, so I can I detox anyway, so I can actually go through the experience with you and we can all champion each other along. So I've just opened up this open chat today for anybody who might have any questions about the detox or otherwise in terms of health and eating. So if you want to come on and ask any questions, you're more than welcome.
What would you say the biggest 3 benefits for somebody joining a detox like this?
Good question. And so the 3 biggest benefits for joining a detox like this is really good for people who are suffering with pain and inflammation. Those are a couple of the really key things that a lot of people are coming to me about. Particularly if you have fibroids, or let's say you have arthritic pain, people who have autoimmune disorders like high blood pressure. Perhaps you're diabetic and you're not getting it under control. The plan can be tweaked for you to manage that. And also, some people need to lose weight for health reasons, so that you can actually easily lose some weight during the program. And actually, if you're deficient in any way, I'm a nutritionist, so they're nutritionally balanced as well. Plus, I recommend that people take D3 and zinc and magnesium, and make sure that they're having sea moss, which they can put into their soups, their smoothies, the dressings that I'm making, and even in your teas, so that you're getting nourished. Because sometimes it's hard to detect what the ailment is and why we're getting certain flares, why we're not sleeping well at night, why we're having these constant headaches, for instance, why we're having these aches and pains. And there might not be any known, reason. Your doctor might say they can't seem to discover what the issue is. And sometimes it's just from, by going on a plan like this, it can help to bring back balance. Let me see if I can see the questions live on this. I can't actually. So Anthony's going to have to read out the questions for me. Right, so Charmaine says...
She says, for me, who doesn't want to lose weight, what's the best tips while I am on the detox?
Right, so for those who don't want to lose weight, make sure you're taking enough plant protein, big healthy salads with hemp seeds. You've got your nuts as well. Don't forget, you can put some nuts in your smoothies, but make sure, as I've said before in the lives, that you soak them for a few hours, if not overnight. That just releases an enzyme in the nut, and it also makes it a lot softer. In fact, they're sweeter once you've actually soaked them, and then you can blend those in your smoothie. So making sure you're getting enough of your protein so you're not dropping weight too much.
I'm getting the video, but not the comments.
That's right. I'm not getting the comments, so Anthony's going to have to read out the comments for me as people jump on the live. For some reason, it's not showing. Okay, no worries. Yeah, so make sure you're getting enough of your plant proteins. Like I said, hemp seed, hemp powder. Remember, you can have your nut milks, magnesium from your cacao, so you can make nice frothy hot chocolates, and that you're getting enough consumption. Make sure you're having things like even your squashes. You can make them, you can grate them, you can do zoodles. With your lovely, I'm actually going to be sending another sauce for zoodles. It's a nice Thai sauce, and doing like a kind of like Buddha bowl of all your greens and making sure you're getting your fats which is important. Getting enough of your fats if you don't want to lose weight on this program, in terms of having your things like your olives and also your mushrooms. And there is a recipe which I put together where you've got chopped olives and you've got the chopped mushroom with your chopped coriander and squeeze of lime, and drizzle your lemon and herb dressing, so you're getting your olive oil fats as well, and that you can add to your dishes as well. So, you know, make sure that you're getting your sufficient healthy fats, so that if you don't want to lose weight on this program, there will be an element of weight loss because you're eating a lot healthier, fresher foods. But if you don't want to lose too much weight, because people can drop at least 2 kg in 2 weeks, it's been that effective for weight loss. So those are just a few tips that you can take on board.
Do they need to do the full 40 days to see results?
Right, so do you need to do the full 40 days to see full results? What is your health goal? And that's the question that I ask everybody who schedules a call with me, to find out, well, what is your health goal? What is it you want to get out of the program? And if you can answer that, I can answer your question.
So I would also ask, if they're joining today, what are the 3 things they may need to know most?
The 3 things you need to know most to join today. So I've automated everything. When you click on the link below, the first thing that you're going to see is an outline of the program. So you know from day 1 to day 40 what each steps are and what is required in the program. Once you've decided that you want to join, you can either book a call with me, or you can simply go straight to register on the program. As soon as you've registered on the program, you get an automated email. Once you get that automated email, you're in the Natural Workshop site where you can access the full program with the grocery list as well. Not only that, you've also got the dashboard. It's all in the dashboard where you've got the Trello board with all of the recipes that I've been doing. It's just an added bonus, guys. You don't have to follow them to the latter. I've just decided that I thought, right, let me go on live. Let me show some meal plans that you can do, some recipes, just to make it a little more interesting. So you've got that Trello board there with loads of recipes from day 1 all the way through to day 10, with budgeting tips as well, and lots of, you know, tips and information that you can take on as well. And of course you can still ask me questions. You've got the detox group on Facebook. I've also got a Telegram group. If people are not, you know, on Facebook and they don't want to join a group, they can also ask questions there. And of course you've got the help and support section. So that's the steps to joining, and those are the things that you'll know, because you'll have all the information there.
Just going to show you how to get the comments. So I've worked it out.
Right, so Anthony's just showing me how I can get the comments. So how do we do that?
So it should have an option that comes up here, but I think if we turn it around this way, close that. Okay, everything seems a lot bigger on your phone, not sure why. But here, you should have an option here.
While you're working that out, I just want to also mention, right, so the detox is basically a £50 contribution. It's not a fee. I'm not charging for the program. It's worth a lot more in terms of the consultations you get, the help, the support, the guidance, the recipes, the Trello, you know, all the videos I've been doing, the Trello board then where I've typed out all the recipes and uploaded all the pictures of the foods I've been eating to show you. It doesn't include any of that. It's just a £50 contribution, which works out to something like $67 in US. And you can just simply join once you have made your contribution, and that's really your commitment to the program. So yes, there is a fee, which is a contribution. It's not the cost of the program itself. And something else you'll need to know is that I do not sell all the herbs. You can get your herbs from your known suppliers. I have herbal teas like blue vervain. I also have a nettle clove and cinnamon blend that I do. And if you've been watching the lives, you'll see why that has been my go-to tea. But you can purchase any of the teas from the grocery list and choose what resonates with you, what tea you feel is going to be your go-to. And you can have a variety of them as well. Also, you need to make sure that you're drinking, at least for women, 2 litres of water. It has to be spring mineral water with a pH 7 at least. And for men, that should be 3 litres. But the essential thing as well, as I said, is your CMOS, your D3, your zinc, and your magnesium standard. So now I've got the comments now that Anthony's kindly got back on the screen. Hi Tyra, thank you so much for joining me again. It's good to see you here. A hell of a lot more, Charmaine says. A hell of a lot more in the program. Yes, there is a hell of a lot. There's so much, actually. Gosh, if I had to go through everything I've put into the program, you get lots of benefits, guys. And also, during the program, you get what's the percentage, Anthony, for the discount?
For which discount?
For those who are on the membership site. You get access to our membership site up until the 10th of May. You get to enjoy those benefits temporarily. So the £50 or the $66 is not the fee for my membership. It's a contribution to join the detox. The membership happens to be £50 a month, but you get free access and you get free perks, and you get how much off our shop, Anthony?
It's different every month.
Right, so we give out discounts and tokens, but during the up until the 10th of May, can I give them a kind of idea of what those discount perks will look like?
It will be between 10 and 50%.
So you can get between 10 to 50% off anything in my shop. And if you go to Dermazine, that's dermazem.co.uk, on there's a shop there where you'll find my herbs, my sorrel tea, my nettle clove and cinnamon blend, my blue vervain, and there's a range of natural skincare products there as well. There's also things like body scrubs and natural facial masks. But have a look. For those who've joined, there's huge discounts, anything between 10 to 50% where we're doing the offers. And you get the perks of those discounts temporarily until the 10th of May when the detox then ends. So is there any more questions? I just want to make sure that it's nice to see you guys socializing on this on the live. Oh, brilliant. Once I get to the outside of the country, I will be joining. You know what? I'm actually going to, because there was a lot of people who can't join yet because they're going away, or they've got some kind of work project commitment. And so a lot of them were interested in weight loss. So I did what I call my bio-mineral health plan, and I had a group of ladies over a certain amount of time over the period of years where they followed it to lose weight. And I've been doing it in smaller and smaller groups. But now that I'm kind of opening up my detox plan to a lot more people, because I used to have my workshops in person and people would join the detox. Charmaine was one of them at the time when I was doing a detox program called the Biomineral Health Plan. At that time, it was quite a long time ago, if you can remember Charmaine, and I was doing classes on how to eat a plant-based diet, and I was doing it all, nutritionally planned, etc. And because of the inquiries of people who want to be like summer ready, they want to drop a dress size or two, and you can actually do it for 2 weeks, eating your abundance of raw foods, and a lot of the recipes can be taken from the detox plan plus more, with different herbs actually to help with certain types of inflammation for some women who had fibroids. So there's a cleanse really involved of the liver and the colon as well. And also we're looking at the small intestine as well, cleaning the small intestine, opening up the elimination organs, and having your diuretic herbs, so specific diuretic herbs to help with the weight loss. And that will be a summer ready detox plan. If anybody's watching this now or even after in the playback, just put hashtag replay weight loss, so I could reach out to you and send you some details of when I'll be doing the weight loss program. And that's only 2 weeks, and you can lose. People on average have said they've lost 2 kg in 2 weeks. It's that effective. And you're being nourished with all these rainbow coloured food. It's all amazing, put together foods that I again support and help people to have their meal plans. But in terms of getting your herbs, you get discounts on the ones I have in my store, but you go to your supplier for your other herbs, for your colon cleanse herbs. If you live in London, in fact, I do recommend certain places which I have mentioned here on the live. That's Baldwin and Co. There's also Indigo Herbs, for instance. And I was having a conversation with one of my members, and she's here on the live, Charmaine Knight. Thanks for joining me. Glad you're here. And she mentioned somewhere in North London, and it's I wrote it down actually. Anthony, can you just read where you've placed your phone, Anthony, on that pad? Can you read the name of the place?
Sure.
I think it's Food for All, but I want to make sure.
It's Food for All.
In fact, it's Food for All, and it's in Stoke Newington, N16. So if you go online, put in Food for All, Stoke Newington, and Charmaine went there today, and she says, Carol, they've got everything she could find, even fresh food. So that's somewhere that I feel I may go and pretty soon to go and have a look and see what they've got in terms of produce, and that would be something that I will recommend to people. So I'm going to start to put together a list of recommended suppliers, and from the UK and US wide and anywhere else that people are going to get their herbs, and I will put it in the Natural Workshop site next to the Spring Detox Plan recipes on a Trello board, so people can see their region and go in there and have a look at the recommendations where to get certain herbs, because this may be first time for you. Perhaps you don't have a go-to herbal supply, and this is all brand new to you. So I'll put these categories of different places where you can get things like your certain detox herbs for your colon cleanse, your liver flush, things like organic castor oil, for instance, things like that you don't get every day or see every day. And I'll definitely put that list together. I think that's really important. So, you know, as you see, there's so much added value that I'm putting into this for £50. It's a one-off fee. So you're getting lots and lots of great information, and you've got access to all those wonderful recipes. Also, on natural workshops, the people who have joined up early got the benefit of all my pre-detox recipes that they could start eating from now. And I know some of you have been getting some of the ingredients for the pre-detox as well. So that started to prepare your digestive system, which is great. And you get a maintenance plan where I've put 7 additional breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks and beverage recipes at the end of the plan for you to have as maintenance. So you can continue down this road, make it a lifestyle, so you don't undo all the amazing benefits that you've gained on the detox plan. Everybody has different health goals, so people achieve different results. Perhaps, you know, as I said, you want to lower your stabilize your blood pressure. You might want to lose weight, rid yourself of pain and inflammation that's going on in the body. Perhaps you want to detox because you've never detoxed before, and you're having you're having headaches, sleepless nights. You may have some skin issues as well. Go on to dermazine.co.uk. Have a look at the natural the creams that I've put together there. But on the program, I can recommend certain herbs for you, certain supplements. We can identify whether there may be some deficiencies. So everybody has different goals, and they go on the plan for so many different reasons. And also we can have a discussion if you feel, oh, well, will this work for me? Just arrange a free call, and I can have a one-to-one with you. We can have a brief chat, and I can make some recommendations, and you get those recommendations emailed to you as well after we've had the discussion. Okay, so there's so much support that you can get on this program. I know when I first did my detox, I ordered my herbs from somebody in Switzerland. He was a registered herbalist, and I received all my herbs, and he discussed with me, because I rang and I asked questions because I wanted to know how much herbs I needed. Did I need to boil them? Did I need to steep them? Which order I needed to take them in? And I had to take multiple notes. There wasn't any, there isn't a plan. There isn't it's important to eat well whilst you're taking these herbs, and to understand why you need to eat well to get the optimal results. So it's okay getting herbs, but if you're not eating well, you're not going to get the optimal results. Sometimes you might not even get the results at all. You have to understand you need to eat clean. So I've put in everything that I can think of with my personal support to help you achieve your goals and to win. And so far, it's been successful for those who've joined the detox plan. And I hope that you who've joined will gain that success too. You'll be amazed how quickly you're going to start to see and feel the changes. And if you saw my picture yesterday, in fact, it's on the thumbnail on yesterday's live, you can see the difference in my face. My skin is glowing. I put on a little bit of weight in the winter months because I've been doing a lot more indoor work. I haven't been out in the, doing my workshops outdoors, and I'm getting back into that kind of going to the gym and making sure I get my walks. I have to work, I put on weight quite easily, so I have to put in that extra effort to be a lot more active. And you can see the rapid change in the way you look younger. You feel and look fresher. People remark on how your skin is glowing, and I as I've put on a few pounds, it's slowly coming off again. In fact, I say slowly, it's been 10 days and I've lost a good few pounds now, and my energy levels have got shot up, which is great. Probably have too much energy, working late into the night, and that is a great no. Need to take my own advice at times. It's important that you get your rest, especially between the core hours of 10 and 2 in the morning. That's the time that your body's kind of processing in terms of cleansing and rejuvenating the body. You want to wake up feeling refreshed and revitalized, and you don't want to be eating beyond 7 o'clock at night. You want at least 2 hours before having eaten before your 10 o'clock sleep, okay? And if you are feeling hunger pangs in the first few days, then you can have things like your hemp milk, because that's a nice, you can get a nice thick consistency from that when you're blending your hemp milk. You can put 2 tablespoons in to 500 mils of water and get a thicker hemp milk out of it, but 500 mils to 1 tablespoon is fine. And you can store that milk for a few days, and you can make a nice hot cacao drink, and that will help sustain you. You can have ginger tea, which is a great appetite curber. That's really good for curbing your appetite. You can have coconut milk, coconut water during the day. That's also known to help satisfy those hunger pangs. Say you're out and about and you're doing several things, you haven't got time, you haven't prepared your lunch, or you're not going to get back in time for lunch. You can have things like your nuts on the go, which as I said, soak a few hours, because it's better on the digestive system when you're having them. You can have some dried fruits with that as well. You can go out with an avocado. I literally peel my avocado and I have that as almost like just like a fruit. Your taste buds change because you taste your food. You taste the freshness in your foods. And of course you can have your fruits as well. You can take a smoothie on the go. Put some Brazil nuts in there, some walnuts in there, blend that up, or hemp seed even. And you're going to have your sea moss in there, which is full of fibre. That keeps you full for longer. You're getting all those 92 minerals, which our bodies consist of. In fact, our bodies have 102, and sea moss contains 92 of them. When you are fed on a cellular level, you are not craving all those fatty foods, high sugars, greasy, salty type foods that we get in those processed foods that we get in the supermarket. You can kick your sugar craving habits. And I've had people who've joined specifically just to get rid of the sugar cravings and the cravings for high, carb processed foods. And they want to learn a different way of eating. And as I say, it is feeding your body information. You're now giving your body new information to behave differently, and you soon feel and see the results. It's that good. Tyra says, wow, another person who peels their avocado. I'm not alone then. Good. I remember actually walking down a high street and I had my avocado and I literally started just paring off the skin and I was eating it. And people were looking at me really strange, you know, because I didn't feel I looked weird, but obviously it looked strange, somebody peeling another. But I'm glad to know that somebody else does it as well. It's a fruit, isn't it, at the end of the day? So, you know, it's a savoury fruit. I even put it in my smoothies. It makes a wonderful creamy consistency to any type of smoothie, which is great. And of course you're going to get, you know, your B12 from your avocados. So it's a really filling, nourishing food. Tyra says, thank you all for crossing my life journey today. Well, I'm glad you're here, Tyra, and I know that you're keen to adapt a new lifestyle in terms of your eating. Thank you for joining me. And I'll tell you, it is life-changing. It really is. It has been for many. Charmaine says, and me, I also peel me on the streets. Yes, love. Oh, is it? I'm glad I'm not alone. Well, you know, there's probably many people that do it out there. So you can literally, it's just like carrying a banana, and you peel a banana and you'll have a banana. It's a wonderful, you know, fruit or vegetable, whatever you want to call it. It's actually a fruit that you can peel and eat anywhere. Oh, yeah, so Anthony's still licking his lips over those truffles that I made yesterday. He doesn't know that I had the last one. Sorry, I meant to save you the cacao one, but it was just too much temptation. Anyway, so yesterday, you know, I made some truffles, and I got triggered to remember by having a conversation with somebody who joined the program. And she says, you know, for her sugar cravings, she makes these truffles. And I thought, oh, why haven't I put that in the program? Of course, my truffles. So you've all got the recipe now. In fact, we've got to send that one out, Anthony, soon as. That was from yesterday. So you can have them on the go. You can have chia ones, goji berry ones, you can have cacao, you can have coconut, you can have sesame seed, you can have hemp seed truffles, nut truffles. You might even come back to me with your own recipes. I've had people who've been on this program and they've developed their own special way of doing things, and it's great. But they're really good at curbing your appetite and your sugar cravings. And there's a special ingredient that I put in there, so it's not over sweet, because you use dried fruits to make form them into a ball. But I put a special ingredient in there that tastes absolutely divine. It's an organic powder, and it just takes the sweetness, too much of the sweetness off, and it has ground nuts in it. And if you're allergic to nuts, you can use hemp, you can use sesame seed perhaps in the mix, and it's just an added protein. So you've got these lovely protein balls, which are just like, you know, just like truffles. And I remember putting it on my Carol Fraser Facebook page one Christmas many moons ago, and I just remembered from the discussion that I had with her when we had our one-to-one, because she wanted to join the program. She mentioned that, and I thought, yes, I will definitely put those up as a way to curb your appetite, to get an extra bit of protein. And that's great for you, Charmaine, because you can add in your Brazil nuts and your walnuts in there, hemp seed as well, cacao, and you can just have those as a snack with coconut as well. You know, you can decide what you want in your truffles. My mouth's salivating now. Just, yeah, so they're good as well for you, particularly Charmaine. You don't want to be losing weight. And I know you've devised little ways of adding to the dishes that I've been putting together. So we had that discussion about, because you don't need to lose any more weight. You're already at a good healthy weight, which is good. So, and also, you know, some people who might feel, well, I'm slim, I don't need to lose weight, I'm fit. Well, the thing about that is we can have, that you can have visceral fat, and that fat is around the organs, it's not seen. And there are people who are, you know, an average weight, normal weight, who also suffer with diabetes. And that is because there are fats in the cells. It may not, it's not all down to people being overweight. And this is why a detox program like this is a simple standard thing that you can just implement in your life to prevent or even lower the chances of becoming pre-diabetic, which is so easy to do nowadays. It's so easy to be pre-diabetic and then go into, and then, you know, go over the edge into a diabetes 2 diagnosis. And it's not fun at all, because even some of your great fresh fruits, you have to be very careful. So this is a great program that you can implement each year. It's going to be like a blueprint for you, and you've got the detox plan right there in front of you. Use it again and again, guys, each year. So somebody says, Carol, can the fat be removed from the cells? Yes. You can change your eating habits and your lifestyle habits, and you so can. The way I'm showing people how to on the detox, and believe you me, it's more than just the detox, because it puts you in the right path before you know it. By the time you're getting into day 7, day 8 to day 10, you're really already doing it. You're already making those changes to rid your body of those fats in your cells over time. You do your detoxes, you continue on the maintenance, which is why I've put those recipes on the maintenance, for you to just continue this journey, to lower your chances from these things happening, to rid your body of those fat cells, reducing them and making the right choices that is going to actually be a lot more conducive for your well-being in the long term, so you're not becoming susceptible to what we're seeing as common lifestyle illnesses. And it's not down to age. You can, children can have diabetes at any age. It all depends on your lifestyle habits. But yes, that's in answer to your question, Tyra, most definitely. And I know Charmaine says I'm so knowledgeable, but you know what, Charmaine, I read a lot, I research a lot, and I've studied a lot. And this is what I mean, there's a story behind why I do what I do. A lot of people might have heard it, some may not have. I mean, I worked in the city as an office manager, and my facility site support in mental health. And my last job in the city was in Farringdon, and I was working for a pharmaceutical company, of all things. So it's so far removed from what I'm doing now. And I had to quit my job in the city when my daughter became extremely ill from a mental breakdown, from bullying at school. It had affected her so much. She was this vibrant, bubbly, still intelligent little girl. and she had a mental breakdown at the age of 11. So I quit my job in the city to support her. And with her first, I'd say it was 3 days into not even, actually it wasn't even 3 days, being in this children's psychiatric unit, the consultant wanted to put her on antipsychotics. And I had said, are we going to do organic investigations? Because my daughter's not, been known to have any mental disorder. This is something obviously that's caused by a trauma. I wanted her to have a chance to pull out of this naturally, because this was my choice, because I did not want her to be reliant on antipsychotics in terms of treating the symptoms, but actually looking at the cause and for her to pull out naturally and then be able to manage herself once she got well. But by putting her on a course of antipsychotics without a diagnosis, within the first 2 days, maybe 48 hours, without having had organic investigations, I felt for my daughter's case, seemed just too much for an 11-year-old, because once you're on the antipsychotics, you can't just withdraw from them. How would we know when she's actually well enough to have pulled through, was my thinking. So further on, a few years on, my daughter was getting better, and in fact, when she recovered, within 3 weeks, and in fact, there was some other professionals who were family therapists who were at the meetings who said I made the right decision. She came out of the psychosis, but she needed support for a number of weeks, into 6 months, for her to be integrated back into school. And further along, I decided I wasn't going to go back to my job in the city, and I was going to explore from actually I had to fight actually. It was a bit of a fight for my daughter to have a brain scan and ultrasound, and they put electrodes on her and did all these investigations. It took me a bit of a fight to actually have my daughter have these organic investigations. Her consultant was going down the route of actually demonizing me, dismissing me. He was not listening to me and railroading me down the road of putting her on antipsychotics as a precaution, even though she'd recovered and pulled through. And I felt I wanted to know what was going on with my daughter, and I had actually, it got as far as it was an escalated complaint, and I was sat in front of the CEO of the NHS Trust at that time, who told me I want Mrs. Fraser to be happy, and we get the organic investigations done. And it brought up with a lumbar puncture that my daughter had a chemical imbalance reaction where she became acutely stressed. This chemical travelled up the spine and hit her brain, causing her to become psychotic and catatonic. And from there, having discovered that, I sat in front of at the time it was a junior doctor, junior consultant, and I had this like scientific looking sheet in front of me, because I asked if I could have a look at it. Didn't understand much, but what jumped out was the words anti-GAD. Now, anti-GAD is connected to diabetes, which is found in diabetic people's blood, and I asked at the time what anti-GAD was, and I was told that I would get an appointment with the senior consultant. I'm still waiting for that appointment. My daughter's now 23 years old. Well, I didn't wait around. I did my own organic investigations on that one, and that's how I found out what anti-GAD was. And although she wasn't diabetic, she produced it in an acute stress reaction. And of course, at that time, 11 years old, you know, hormonal imbalances, changes, and all of that, you know. So once I found out what it was, I decided that we were going to cut out any type of processed food, and we got rid of bit by bit, and it became naturally any animal protein. We started with dairy. I researched about foods that, you know, could actually cause more stress, and got rid of, you know, high fat foods, sugars, those sort of things. I became a dab hand in the kitchen, just relearning how to prepare fresh organic foods. And I was quite literal on the organic at that time, and I earned my stripes as the organic lady in West London, doing all her workshops and teaching on foods that heal and disease prevention, with nutrition in mind. And I was nicknamed Carol Organic. And I went on to prepare foods at a whole holistic store, and I was doing breakfast, lunch, and dinners, and I was running workshops there in the area that they had in the shop. And it's really from that journey that I myself learned and felt and recovered from actually not having an operation. I had a large internal growth. You know, it was getting bigger. It was developing over like a 2-year period, and I literally, you know, took my own medicine. So the knowledge is something I've learned. I've studied plant-based nutrition. I've studied nutrition. I've studied herbalism. I studied aromatherapy, and I started growing food on an organic farm after my daughter was recovering, and my mother was doing a lot better because she's bedbound. There's a really tremendous story about my mother with myeloma, who was given weeks to live, and she's still surviving and thriving, where I put her on a herbs and organic and plant-based diet, and with her COPD, and she's recovered in terms of not having all this mucus on her chest, and also she's still alive. She hasn't even had so much as a cold, which is amazing. And she's lost a lot of her body weight because she was on steroids. She was blowing up like a sumo wrestler. She's been taken off some of her medications that her doctor says she doesn't need anymore, and some of them scaled right back. So that's a tremendous story. And with my daughter had become better, my mother doing a lot better, I started growing food on an organic farm. I didn't go back to the city, to the pharmaceutical business. And I met some tremendous people there who were naturopaths and homeopaths, you know, holistic practitioners, you know, alternative integrative medicine. And I never really looked back. And I learned about soil, you know, soil types and minerals, and studied about herbs. And that's when I decided I wanted to take a course in herbalism, and learnt so much more, and about foraging. And then I took further studies to support people to grow food as well. And in London, I took on some food growing projects as well. And I started just rolling out my workshops on What the Health Next was another series of workshops that I did. But I still read a lot today. I go down a rabbit hole and I do my research. I don't think you can ever stop learning, and you can do that too. You can learn so much about your own bodies and about what helps to help you to function optimally. I'm just the vessel to bring people down that road, and once they do, I've ladies and men who years later who've become even great friends of mine, and they keep constantly saying, you know, I'm glad that I made these changes. I'm glad that I met you. I was just there at that time, you know, where they needed to make these changes for themselves, and they're great advocates for other people now, you know, in terms of their families and friends. So, you know, it's not that I'm just super intelligent and that I know it all. I don't know it all, and I'm still learning, and I still research, and I upgrade my skills and knowledge, and I read books, and I look at scientific research as well. And sometimes I have a thought, well, what if? And when I go down that road, I find the answers. And if you look at my YouTube channel, I did something on salicylates, also the connection between iron deficiency and eczema. I'm going to be doing something on a gene concerning people with eczema as well. So there's so much that you can, I explore and research, and I share that. You can't know everything and do everything. You know, you need somebody who's kind of passionate about these things, that can share these things, and then something might click for you, and you think, oh, you know, you have that kind of like aha moment, the penny drops, and you go down that route, and before you know it, you might find some answers. So that's, you know, that's where I get, you know, the knowledge in terms of what I do, and I'm very passionate about what I do. And the detox is just another vessel to help support people to get on that road, and then you will see your life really changing, because it will open up so many new avenues to you that you never knew. And when you start making those changes, you soon realize for yourself how you can really improve your lifestyle, and learn about how you can actually reduce your chances of certain lifestyle, we call in lifestyle illnesses now, because they are becoming like lifestyle illnesses. It's habits, it's all habits, and the information that we're feeding ourselves here and in here, you know. So, and spiritually, that's the other side of me, but I won't go into the spiritual in terms of, but I do talk about things like meditation and the 432 hertz with the sleepy music studio on YouTube. I'm telling you, the music, the frequencies, really actually, that it's an ancient frequency of really harmonizing, healing the cells. I had it playing upstairs in my home, and it was playing throughout the whole, that you could hear the frequencies in the atmosphere, and it really changes your mood, and it does relax you. I listen to it going off to sleep. I'm out like a light. I put my headphones on, I walk down the road smiling. People probably think I'm crazy. And I have it in the background at home, and sometimes if I'm on the computer, and I do feel that helps me as well, especially if I'm staring at a computer for a long time. I put on Sleepy Music Studio on YouTube, and I recommend that for everybody on the detox, to really tune into that. It really, really does make a difference. Health is not one, it's not one facet. There's so many different areas to health, body, soul and spirit. So when you go down this journey, it comes to you in terms of the changes that you start to make, and it opens up so much more to you than just eating well. There's so much more to know, and you'll feel it, and you'll learn, and you'll get on that journey, and you'll connect to people along that journey as well. So Tyra says, the people who want to control the masses want you to believe otherwise. The body is self-healing, And people really don't believe that because we've never been taught that the body is self-healing. Even if you cut yourself, I remember I had a gash from using secateurs in my garden, and you know, you'd run it under a tap, you know, to stop the bleeding. Hold, you know, the finger. I held my finger to get the clot going. That's your body working, obviously, immediately to protect your body, and the inflammation in there starts to develop to protect the wounded area. And I used lavender oil. I diluted some lavender oil, and I was using that every day, and it healed up really well. You know, the body takes care of itself when you give the body what it needs, and understand what is, you know, how you can heal the body. Obviously, if you have a serious accident and you're losing blood fast, of course you got, you know, the body will heal over time, but it also you need to get emergency treatment, but the body will heal over time. And depending on what you're feeding it, it will heal much better if you're obviously putting in the right, I call it information, the food that you're giving it.
You can scroll back to the chat as well, because there's some comments there. I think Tyra asked, will this help cleanse my arthritis as well?
So Tyra is asking, will this help, is it cleanse my arthritis as well? Is that correct?
That's correct.
Cleanse your arthritis?
Arteries, sorry.
Arteries, oh, right, sorry.
Dyslexia playing up.
Right, Anthony's reading it as arthritis. Will this detox cleanse my arteries as well? Well, if there's a book which I recommend, Tyra, called, don't just take my word for it, it's Michael Grazier, How Not to Die. And you read that book and find out about clearing your arteries. Yes, you can. I've seen medical doctors who've become alternative doctors that have treated people. In fact, I've got a book. It's called Nutrition Made Clear, and the doctor or professor Roberta Anding, and I haven't got the other one here. I've got one by a doctor. These are my reference books, and they've proven, and there is research as well. Sometimes the studies don't go as far as public policy, and then the funding doesn't, there's not enough funding goes into research to go out to really develop it. But there has been doctors that have treated people on a nutritional dense diet, and there has been studies where they've done it. Look at the Adventist study, okay, that as well, and it can be done. It can so be done on this detox. Yes, it's a start, certainly a start to actually helping with the arteries, and there's certain foods that actually accelerate it as well. So absolutely, you can. People have been put on stents as well. Is it stents? Statins. And there's doctors who have treated people on statins and treated people on a natural nutritional dense diet, whole foods, that is, diet. And the results on the whole foods has been phenomenal. Michael Grazier, How Not to Die. Yes, Michael. I think it's Michael Grazier. And don't suppose you can look that up, Anthony. Maybe somebody can have a look for me if I've got that wrong. It's Michael. Go on Amazon, How Not to Die. You'll get it. I think it's Michael Grazier, That's correct, because somebody's asking it, is it Michael? How Not to Die on
Yeah,
Amazon.
it's like
Michael Grazier, that's right.
put the link to it in the
We'll put the link to it in the description so you can get access to it if you haven't already found it. But we'll put it there for everybody, especially in the playbacks, as I've mentioned it. Charmaine says, I need to get my brain intact, very forgetful. Make sure you're having enough fats, healthy fats. So you're having walnuts, your Brazil nuts, your olives, your olive oils, which you get in the recipe for your dressings on the Trello board there, in your mayonnaises. Lemon and herb dressings. Make sure you're getting your healthy fats. I tell you what else is very good, and I keep saying it, make sure you have your CMOS. I know you have. This is Charmaine. It contains iodine, which is good for brain health. I tell you what else is good. Rosemary tea. You can have it as a tea. That's very good for brain health as well. You can even get olive leaves. You can steep them and make a tea from that. But your healthy fats, your healthy nuts, your healthy oils, your olives, of course, those sort of foods are good for your brain health, especially the iodine. There's not much iodine in our foods anymore, especially in our salt. I get a particular sea salt called Maldon, Maldon. I get that in Sainsbury's. So get your natural sea salt, so you're getting your iodine from that as well, but it's in your CMOS. 2 tablespoons a day. I'm taking 4 tablespoons during the detox, and then you go on to just having 2 tablespoons a day, because the iodine can vary as to how much iodine is in CMOS. So 2 tablespoons standard at least in your soups, smoothies, your dressings. Add it to your teas as well, and make sure you're getting that adequate amount of sleep as well. It's not snowing. Who says it's snowing? Charmaine says, ladies, it's snowing madly outside. We're in London. I'm looking out of my window. I don't see snow. Don't tell me it's snowing.
Charmaine's in both.
Oh, Charmaine, you're in boat. Of course it's going to be different, isn't it? I remember coming out of at the time I was working somewhere in West London, not far actually from Hounslow, somewhere in between Hounslow and Heathrow. And I remember calling Anthony, and I was stepping out, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's hailstoning out down here. And he says, nothing down this end. And that wasn't even that far. It's not even that far. So yeah, it can be snowing. Oh my gosh. It's been a bit cold today. I noticed the nip in the air. But I still go out between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. every day, and I get that sun in my face and my chest. If I can expose my arms, if it's warm enough, I do. But get that sun, that morning sun is really important for that the D3. And I was even, forcing myself to go out in the cold. But I've got so used to it, because that sun, when it starts to come out a lot brighter at 10, between 11, it's not too, bright and intense, and it's just the right amount of sun to be able to get that on your skin, even in the cold weather. And when I'm sitting in a sunspot, I feel warm anyway, because the sun's directly on me. I have a Japanese garden not far from me. I'm very, very fortunate. Even though I have a lovely garden as well, I do like to I have to force myself to go out and take a walk. Find time for yourself. Get at least 10 minutes walk a day, and find that space for you. But my gosh, snowing already in London. This is London for you guys. Anything can happen with our weather. It's up and down. We had a good few days of good, nice sunshine. I thought, oh great, beginning of spring. It's going to get warm again, and it's typical London weather. You look out the window, hailstones, snow, rain, you name it, winds, fog. Anything, anytime, any day. Tyra says, there is unlimited abundance for all. Yes, yes. Definitely, especially around springtime into summer. I can't wait for the Summer Ready program. I'm going to be going away during the summer just for some short breaks, and it'd be nice to be able to get into my swimming costume when I go on the beach. So that's going to be a 2-week program to lose 2 kg, and you're going to be eating the rainbow and having a great diet of all your fresh foods. It's going to be great. So if anybody wants to join the Summer Ready program, just put, as I said, #replay weight loss. Charmaine says your health is your wealth, and it certainly is. The world is, Anthony says, absolutely, Tyra, the world is abundant with everything we need, especially when we learn to provide for ourselves and be more independent. And yeah, I mean, being sustainable in some way or other, even if it's supporting, you're independent. Oh my gosh, I can see snow. Oh no, I can see snowflakes.
Oh, right.
Oh, great. I want to go out, actually, after the live. So, yeah, independent whole food suppliers in your area. Support them, guys. If you get a farmer's market, support them. Sometimes you can find growing projects in your area as well. I remember being involved in a growing project, growing food. And we used to sell off the produce really cheaply. I mean, it was all about just getting people involved and people who were suffering with having social isolation, and having a buddying program where we're encouraging other people to come out and grow, get a bit of exercise. So it was from some people who were older and some people who were a bit younger. Then we had families involved as well. Last year, I had just a private growing program going on in my back garden with 5 children and their parents, and they did the practical side, learning about the soil types, learning about the biodiversity, and then going in the garden and looking through a big what do you call those things that you look microscope, for all the different biodiversity in the garden. And then we were doing practical. We were doing theory and we were doing the practical, growing all our vegetables. And we managed to grow an abundance. I think I must have harvested 16 cucumbers in one go. We had chard and kale, and later on we had turnip, mustard greens. We had different lettuces. We had a small watermelon. We also had, rockets, and we had some herbs like thyme and chives. We grew quite a lot, actually. And if people don't have growing spaces, you can have microgreens that just grow on your windowsill, wheatgrass, and have your herbs like your thyme. I have a broadleaf thyme. Someone gave me a cutting, and I've got lovely broadleaf thyme, basil. You could have alfalfa sprouts, rosemary. You can even grow indoors as well. So there's so many things, and actually on the Natural Workshops platform, when you sign up to the detox for the spring program, there's a club. It's a Grow Your Own 101 indoors, and you can see the things that you can actually grow indoors, and you can see the tutorials and how-tos as well. So take advantage of the clubs, have a look inside there while you're there. Everybody who's signed up who are there, you're there till the 10th. So take in all the information you can. There's also clubs on making your own remedies in terms of blending oils and herbal remedies. There's one for allergies. There's one for diabetes as well. There's so much more, as Charmaine says, that you can really get value from being on this detox program. Hey, Anthony! I've seen that comment. My mother does not back down easy. She always fought for my sister to the correct care. Oh, okay, I thought you was revealing my... in terms of my stubbornness, I'm a Taurian. But yeah, he's actually saying, no, I don't back down. He knows I don't back down easy. So he's saying there, my son made a comment saying, my mother does not back down easy. She always fought for my sister to get the correct care. And yeah, I can be a force to be reckoned with. Sorry?
Taurus as well.
Yeah, I've just said I'm a Taurus as well. So yeah, we're fighters. You know, in the good sense of things, you know, well, I won't even go into fighting and slapping. I'm not going down that. It's not that kind of show. But yeah, it might bring in a few more viewers. My opinion on the Will Smith and Chris Rock slap. But I'm not going down that road today. But yeah, I don't advocate for physical violence, no. I see a cooking show in your future. Well, Tyra, I wanted to have a cooking show, right? When I first started out as Carol's Organic Kitchen, I was an organic food grower. I was studying, finishing off my nutritionist studies, and I was going into doing my herbalism, and I was posting, a lot of the stuff that I was posting was all on food and nutrition, and all the recipes that you've seen in the detox from day 1 to 10 on YouTube, I was basically posting all of them on my Instagram. It's full of foods, and on my website I had all my recipes for free, my cookbook. In fact, I've got more cookbooks under my belt. I've got this book of loads of recipes I've never revealed. They're my very own recipes, which I will in time share. And natural workshops, I started doing some foods. If you go, oh no, you're not on the workshops, but those who've actually got access to natural workshops, have a look at the past workshops where you see me doing some food preparation and remedies and things like that. But listen, I wrote to Good Morning Britain, I think it was, gave them a little bio about me, and I hoped they would even take any notice. They didn't even bother to respond, even though it said, we will respond to your inquiry within 5 days. Okay, fine, watch this space. But yeah, I thought about a cooking program. Maybe I will start some, food prep on YouTube. And yeah, but I have done some of them on natural workshops where you see me prepping some foods. But it would be nice to, if I had the time, to be honest. I'm more about, working with people and being in touch with people rather than just, putting on a show. Even though, yes, it helps people to show them how to prepare different meals and talk about the nutritional side of it, which is what I was doing in my workshops. and people will relate who used to come to those workshops where Charmaine was one of them, where I just laid out the food. I'd be prepping in the kitchen, and then I'd, showing them how to make everything. And we'd literally have everything, pepper sauce and salads and sauces and what was it, moxtail we did one time, bulgur wheat rice and peas. We did Caribbean cooking, vegan style, and it was great. So yeah, maybe one day, maybe if somebody wants me on their show, but yeah, there's so many different directions I can go in, and there's one of me, and I come out with these ideas, and Anthony's like, one thing at a time. So he's the kind of like calm, level-headed. I'm like, we could do this and we could do that and we could do the other. We've gone down and we've decided on a strategy, and I said, right, we can add these things as well, and we can do that, and I'll spend the time doing it. And he said, calm down. Let's just focus on the strategy we've got ahead, Mum. Let's. So it's been a great journey, but I can sometimes get a bit too carried away with all the things that I want to do. But yeah, I can fit in a cooking program in one day, can't I, Anthony? This is our business, family business. He says. He's laughing nervously.
I don't want to promise something.
I know, he always says that to me. Don't promise everything, because you've got to find the time to do it. And then it's a lot of planning as well. And of course, it's a lot of editing, because Anthony's he's a great editor, great marketer. He can build fabulous websites. You might have seen mine, and people always commenting on carolfraser.co.uk and dermazine. .co.uk. Those websites are absolutely fabulous, and he doesn't work as a website developer, but he can develop really good professional websites, and I'm glad to have him on my team because he's so skilled, so knowledgeable in the tech side of things as well. So it's all right me saying, yeah, let's do this and that, but the technical side is a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. And that's down to my son, who does work tremendously hard to keep up with me. So yeah, it's. Tara
had a great idea. She said something along the lines of you having an on-site cooking workshop. So I imagine what she means is a program where you're teaching people in person.
Oh right, so having a teaching in person online workshop.
I think she first mentioned an online, and then she said perhaps on site. So on site would be in person.
So Tyra was mentioning maybe having an on-site, in-person cooking workshop. Yeah, I had teamed up with a French vegan chef. Who's also, he's a qualified nutritionist as well. And some people, we were, through Eventbrite, we were hiring out these lovely kitchens, and we were both kind of putting on vegan dishes for people in small groups who would come and watch how we were preparing all these different dishes, and they were enjoying all the different foods that we were doing. And there was this lovely big steel kitchen where I would do a workshop every Thursday, and people would see how I was preparing all of the foods. So we'd have the main meal, we'd have a kind of a starter, the main meal, a snack, and then all the sauces and whatever gravies and dressings that went with the food. Some cooked in the spring and summer raw. So when lockdown happened, that tended to stop somewhat, but I can't really, sort of blame it on just the lockdown, because I was doing less of my workshops prior to the pandemic. Did I say that? Because I was working as a natural chef, a head chef at a private preschool where they'd headhunted me, and we agreed on 5 hours alongside my business for children who were suffering with severe allergies. So 5 hours of my day, I was prepping meals for these children between 3 months old to 5 years old. And some of them had food sensitivities, but a lot of them had allergies. A lot of children are on EpiPens these days. So some of my time was taken away from that, and I had a fabulous year, and we had a lovely sensory garden where there was a growing section where we'd make lasagna, which was our compost area with the leaves and the fresh foods, and then we'd pile different layers, which they were learning to do their own compost. And the fabulous thing was when some of the foods that they were growing went into the meals, and they loved that. They really did. They were literally singing for their supper when I'd come out with the trolley and wheeling it into the dining area, and they were getting up, singing and dancing and giving me hugs. So I miss them a lot, actually. But that was taken up some of my time. So I was doing a little bit less of my workshops, and people were saying, when are you going to come back? When are you going to come back? When are you going to start doing your workshops again? So I was doing Come Dine with Vegs. That's Veegz, just a spin on vegan. Come Dine with Vegs. It's a show in the UK called Come Dine with Me. So I put the Vegs spin on it. And I was literally hosting 6 people in my home, and they had a 4-course meal. And I was doing it where they could see me prepping the foods as well. And some of them where they just had the foods just brought out to them on the table, and they'd all get the recipes afterwards. And that was a success. I was booked for weeks. It was brilliant, and I got to meet some amazing people. It was really, really fabulous. And another thing I did was my 5-year anniversary of Carol's Organic Kitchen, which, by the way, is back. Brought it back in my shop with my handmade products on dermazine.co.uk. I had a 5-year anniversary celebration, which I called my Big Fat Vegan Barbecue. And I put on a whole big spread of foods for my celebration of Carol's Organic Kitchen. And it was such a... Up to now, people are still talking about it. I invited people who came to my workshops in the community, because like I said, I make great friends, you know. Some people just don't want to leave me alone, because it's great. We make these bonds, and I invited them, and I'm friends and family, and people who was. I remember one guy who was having really bad problems with his blood pressure and fatty liver, and he couldn't get enough of my quinoa burgers. But it was a wonderful day and a really great celebration of really good foods. It was a way of showcasing also the great foods that came out of Carol's Organic Kitchen, and it's still a memorable event. People still talking about it today, and perhaps I should have another one. So my birthday's coming up on the 16th of May. I'm going to be celebrating on the 14th of May. I haven't celebrated my birthday for goodness knows how many years, actually. It's always something where I've been either working on my birthday or too busy, or I'll go away months later and just have a break. But I'm going to have a celebration on the 14th of May. I won't be doing the cooking. It will be at an Ethiopian restaurant. And this particular restaurant, this woman who I've got to know does amazing foods, all her own recipes, and injera. I love injera. I love her vegan style injera. And I met her at a garden party at an artist studio And she used to put on the food at these garden parties. And then when she was exploring other interests in developing her own restaurant, I was asked if I would do it for their 40th anniversary open studio day. And then thereafter they call me back every year. And then that was another way of me showcasing all the wonderful meals that came out in Carol's Organic Kitchen as well. And up to now I'm still friends with those artists. And they want, since the lockdown I haven't been back. They haven't started it back just yet, but I'm sure maybe next year that'll happen again. So yeah, maybe one day I'll have my own show or something going on. But Anthony's trying to ground me and, mould me into the businesswoman that I need to be, and stop treating my my skills as a hobby. That's quite important. So Tyra says, sorry for that experience. It benefits us now. Yes, it was a harrowing experience with what happened to my daughter Tyra. But I truly believe that sometimes you have to go through some of the hellish times of your life to actually be aligned with your purpose. And I might be getting a bit deep and spiritual here, but it's really true, and people have had that experience. I've heard so many amazing stories. I mean, look at some of the people in this world that have brought so much value into people's lives. When you look at the story behind it, it's been quite a trial and challenge that they've been through. So I wouldn't change a thing other than what happened to my daughter, but it's brought me on an amazing journey, and I'm happy to be here. One of the things, Tyra, with your comment about, being dismissed and not being listened to when I was trying to communicate with my daughter's consultant, it is hard as a mother to really be heard and seen. And I know that there's a lot of mothers who have children who's gone through mental health, have children with mental health issues. It has scarred her. And but she lives with those scars, and she's doing tremendously well. She's a very intelligent girl, she's a go-getter. In fact, I tell you, when she was ill in hospital, and there were children of all ages from I think 5 years old, I came one evening after work, and I could see down the corridor into the children's ward, and I could see her doing I think is it the samba with the children all holding on to each other with music going on, and Christina oh god, I'm getting emotional now, and she was making the lead of this samba, and then they were coming up towards the door. They saw me and they were waving, and they were singing a song, I can't remember the song now, about being happy. And the consultant said to me, your daughter's a phenomenal girl. She's actually lifted the mood of this ward. But going back to not being seen and heard as a woman, up against, especially, he was quite a formidable consultant who was totally dismissive of me, but I stood my ground. Yes, I did. And I did the best for my daughter, and it has paid off, because things could be so much different for her. So Charmaine says, I made the mango and sea moss smoothie today. Delicious. It is, isn't it? It is so delicious. I mean, I don't know would you put them together, but I experiment a lot in the kitchen. And I come up with these ideas, and I'm telling you, it's going to happen for you too, because people have said it to me. I think about the flavor, I think about the ingredients, and then you can almost taste them. You kind of know what's going to work, and 99% of the time they work. They so work. And I remember the first time I did that one, and I had an event, and this guy who was really a bit snooty about the fact that they'd got in vegan caterers, the people who had organised this event for me to do the food. And he came up to me and he said, Carol, he said, Carol, you excelled yourself. I remember thinking, okay, thank you very much. You know, I've been doing it for a few years anyway. He probably thought it was just going to be complete rabbit food, you know, like, I don't know, a bit of salad and tomato on a plate or something. I don't know what he was expecting from a vegan, you know, chef. But yeah, he said, you know, he came up to me, he was like, Carol, you excelled yourself. And I was like, yeah, I know. So yeah, I experimented a lot in the kitchen, and I was burning the midnight oil, putting together some things that I could take some really good pictures of. I wanted to get as much as possible in, because I thought, oh, we're coming up to the crunch time now, because we're all going to begin on the 1st. But like I said, it's not too late to join, even if you join a couple of weeks later, because eventually we all catch up from day 6. We're kind of eating off that grocery list together anyway. And I'm not going to just abandon you when the detox comes to an end. I'll still be there to kind of reach out to you, or you reach out to me. I mean, it's all about you telling me what you need, and us sharing what we can with one another in terms of how we're feeling on the group, what we're having, what's working for us, maybe what's not working for us, so I can give you some tips, you know, so... So Val says, I've never bought a decent mango. They're usually hard and stuck to the stone. So what you do, right, Val, get your mango, get a brown paper bag, and put your mango in the brown paper bag and put it in your cupboard, and almost forget about it. I've got a wooden trunk, nice big oak wooden trunk, and it's like a deep pantry, and I put my unripened fruits in there in a paper bag, put it in there, close the lid, and the bag and the darkness actually help to ripen it a lot better. But when you're buying them, don't get them stone hard. Please don't get those. If there's any give in it, then get those. Make sure that the stem is on the mango as well. You know that little knobble where it was attached to the stem? Get it with the stem still intact, because they will ripen much better. It's almost like having the umbilical cord still on your fruit, and it will ripen naturally, but it will help it along if you put it in a kind of warm place in a brown paper bag and out of the sunlight. And that might help. Try it and see. Tyra says, I appreciate everything that you have done. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your appreciation. Anthony says, tasting the food is a very different experience. Pictures can't convey flavour. Yeah, Anthony should know. Anthony should know, of all people, because having all these these videos that I've been doing live during the detox, he's been eating along with me with the foods and been enjoying the spoils of all the different dishes and sauces and dressings and all the rest of it. Especially those truffles yesterday. He wanted to get his greedy little mitts on them before I'd even started the live. Can you believe it? I said to him, yes, you can have some. And I'd made them particularly to show you first. Even I had to restrain myself for me to show you them on the live. So as soon as I said, of course you can have some, he wanted to grab the ones that I'd made. I said, no, you don't. They're going on the live. You can have one afterwards, or two, which I allowed him to have 2 out of the 5. And I had the cacao one as well this morning. Whatever, it's my truffles. He didn't even know I'd eaten it. Oh dear, sorry.
So filling though.
Yeah,
Satiating, so I don't need to binge on them. You know, 1 or 2 is enough usually.
Anthony says they're quite filling. 1 or 2 of them is just enough. You don't need to binge on them, and it's true. They really are filling. Oh, so delicious as well. So yeah, try those, guys. I mean, you can just have those and graze on those. Fruit and nuts, you know, can't go wrong. It's really lovely. So I see you saying, yes, please, Charmaine. Is that for one of my come dine with Vegs? I've actually converted my living room since COVID into a studio. So now where you see me, which was my living room, is actually just converted into a whole big studio. I don't have a dining table. I have a small glass dining area where I sit, but I haven't got my big gun metal handmade table. I actually threw it out. Somebody was glad to get that. I had that made. It's handmade by the Elephant Company. Lovely. But I just took this conscious decision to really knuckle down and get serious, because I was so disappointed, and like many people, that you know, having to give up what I was doing by doing my workshops, and with the school coming to an end. But that had to come into an end because I was only going to be doing it for a year. I think I might have still continued. I loved it so much, but I had to kind of revamp my business and do everything online. Now I'm talking to you from a camera, whereas before, Charmaine, you remember meeting me in person, and I'll be doing my workshops in person. But the come dine with Vegs, I don't have the living room layout now to have those. But that was really, you know what, in time it would be good, and I've said this to Anthony, another one of my harebrained ideas, perhaps we hire a lovely property. My friend's got some really plush properties. He does a lot of property developing, and he's a landlord of some really, really nice places. And it would be good to maybe, you know, hire one of his properties, which is really plush, and put on a come dine with Vegs. But I'll probably do that with people that you know, people who've been really dedicated, that have been living the lifestyle, made those changes. It would be nice to people like Charmaine, who in London, who would come to one of these come dine with Vegs events in a lovely setting, and I put on a really beautiful spread. And of course you get all the recipes and you can join me in the kitchen if you want. So yeah, that would probably be, that's something in the pipeline if Anthony doesn't try to draw me back. But I think I could fit in one of those. We even thought,
I've always said you should do a retreat.
Anthony keeps, what do you think, Guy? Anthony says he's always said I should do a retreat. So yeah, I don't know, what do you think? Do a retreat? Got Carol's Organic Kitchen in the kitchen, preparing your herbal teas and smoothies and breakfasts and lunches, dinner. But you know me, I'll put you on some medicinal herbs as well for your particular health goals. So you're getting results. It's not just a gorging session of vegan foods, which is going to make you, well, food as in your food as medicine. But yeah, we have a retreat where Anthony was saying I should put them on and do all these wonderful mineral dense foods for people to stay in a really lovely place. I tell you what, I have a friend who has, and I'm going to go away to go there. There's this beach in South Sea, and apparently Harry Redknapp used to frequent on this beach. I don't know how true this is, but don't hold me to that. But my friend was saying to me that Harry Redknapp lived near this beach and he would frequent on this beach in South Sea. And I'm going down there and my friends are going to be taking me to that fabulous beach, and I'm staying in their fabulous home. And I tell you what, when I go there, I'll film while I'm there what I'm eating, what I'm cooking, all the rest of it, because I'll be going there during the detox time. And if I was to be able to do a retreat there, if it's a really good location, why not, you know? It's not a million miles out of London, so it's inexpensive to get there. You get to go on a beautiful beach, you get to stay in a fabulous apartment, and you get to eat my food. What could be better than that? So Anthony's saying, yeah, I should do a retreat. If you think so, let me know. If you think that's something that...
A few fans of that idea already.
Is it? Yeah, why not? I'd enjoy that. You know, I love cooking up a storm. Listen, I love it. Even before I became whole foods plant-based, I loved just entertaining people with my dishes, different types of foods. I've always loved to cook, besides my career anyway, my career in the city. It's one of the things I loved. Maybe it was preparing me for this vocation in life, but now I put all that passion, love into my whole foods, plant-based foods, which is why I make it so different and interesting, and I enjoy doing it. So Tyra says, I would rearrange my schedule for that, maybe annually in different locations. Yeah, Tyra, you're in the US, aren't you? Whereabouts are you located exactly? So Tyra says, yeah, a retreat would be awesome. Maybe, Anthony, how about doing one somewhere in the States?
Yeah,
that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Where in the States, I wonder? Anthony's been
somewhere
to
nice weather.
somewhere with nice weather. Yeah. So, Charmaine, thank you. You've been with us for a long time. Sorry, ladies and gents. I have to leave now. See you all on the detox program. See you. We'll catch up soon. I'm going to see you, Charmaine. See you. Thanks for joining me here. So Tyra says, you will find space, Carol, to do your dinners. I'm sure I will. I will definitely be looking at some, maybe I'll do it across the globe. Hey, I tell you what, I would love to have a kind of nomadic life, and go to different locations in the world and do what I do, you know, and cast a bit of Carol's organic kitchen magic in different places, So maybe that's maybe that's something I can do in the future. And yeah, wherever you are in in the world, Tyra, maybe that'd be the first part of the States that I come to. I don't know. Let's see. I'm currently in California, Sacramento. Woo, yeah. Sounds gorgeous. I'd love to do an event in Sacramento.
I was thinking California.
Anthony said he was thinking California. Yeah, beautiful beaches as well. I did a big fat vegan picnic in Hyde Park, and I remember that summer. It was really lovely, and I thought, oh, maybe one day do it on a really lovely beach, but it might be a bit sandy, so I'm not sure. But California, wow, yeah, Sacramento, here I come. Helping at the retreat should be a requirement. Please do that, Carol. I would love that. Yeah, I would love that too. We'll have to put that into our business strategy, Anthony. Fit that in. I'm thinking, I don't know what Anthony thinks, to have a Christmas party, a festive party. Something at the end of the year, obviously in London, because that's where I'm located, where I can gather together people who've, in London who've been doing the detox, who are just following and making lifestyle changes and dietary changes, and reach out to those who are registered in my contacts, and have a end of year festive celebration somewhere beautiful, in London, with fabulous food, fabulous food, but healthy food, but fabulous food all the same. So anyway, I really appreciate you all being here. And if Val's still here, thank you so much. And happy that Charmaine was here as well. She was one of my followers from yonks ago. And Tyro, you've been on my lives a lot actually, and I appreciate you being here. Appreciate love you all. And I'll be back another day, and you'll be seeing some of my jollies, because I'll also be going away for a short while, just somewhere local in the UK, South Sea, and also Liverpool. And I'll also be probably posting up some of my birthday celebrations at the Ethiopian restaurant, which is a lovely little place, which I'll reveal, and share that with you all as well. But I'll be back as well for more organic investigations, as I call them, because I still like to do a lot of research and share scientific information and research, go down rabbit holes and find health solutions. This is a solutions-based channel. So thank you so much for joining me in this open chat tonight. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you all again soon, I hope. Take care. Bye for now.